Do you still care about the iPhone? Do you remember that the iPhone 16 will come out this year? Well, amidst of all of these Apple Vision Pro videos, I do not blame you. A new Apple product category is always good and always very exciting. But again, we need to talk about the iPhone 16 and 16 Pro because I haven't talked about leaks for these models for a while, and I think they have built up, and we got some cool information that I need to share with you guys because it will help you out with your buying decisions. Should you wait for the iPhone 16 or should you buy the iPhone 15 right now? Well, let's talk about it. We are 4 months into the iPhone 15 and we already have the spec list for the iPhone 16. That's crazy, but that's true. So, Mac Rumors today, the Apple website known for Apple News, has released a full list of specs that we should expect for the iPhone 16, and they are pretty exciting. Starting with the design. We should expect about the same design for the iPhone 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max. They are going to be a bit bigger in terms of dimensions, and the iPhone 16 and 16 Plus are getting a new redesign for the camera bump. As for the dimensions, the iPhone 16 Pro is going to be 149.6 millimeters of height, and the 16 Pro Max is going to be 163 millimeters of height. This is a jump from 146.6 millimeters of height on the 15 Pro and 160 millimeters of height on the Pro Max. So a 3 millimeter height gain on the Pro Max model and about a 3.3 millimeter gain on the Pro model. So the iPhones are getting taller to accommodate the bigger displays that they are going to get. The iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max are going to get bigger displays just like it was leaked before. The Pro model is going to get a 6.3-inch display and the Pro Max model is going to get a 6.9-inch display. So both of these sizes are increasing by about 0.2 inches, which is actually a big difference. So expect the iPhone 16s to be bigger and have bigger displays. But these displays are not simply getting bigger, they are also getting better. These are going to be more efficient, and with the introduction of the micro lens technology, they're going to be brighter. So brighter displays and more efficient displays. I would say that these displays are going to get closer to the newer generation OLEDs found on the Samsung S24 Ultra with about 3000 nits of peak brightness and better HDR, more efficiency. So expect efficiency and brightness gains on these next generation OLED panels for Apple. I do believe we have reached the inflection point, and now most displays are just fine for most people. So yeah, displays are too good now. An improvement on the quality itself, it might be not that noticeable. These newer iPhones have amazing displays, and even from the 15 Pro to the 14 Pro and the 14 Pro to the 13 Pro, the differences are very small. And again, we have reached that inflection point that it starts to get better, but most people won't take advantage of that. And probably the biggest difference between the 15 Pro and the 16 Pro is going to be the size. Again, 6.1 to 6.3 inches on the Pro model and 6.7 to 6.9 inches on the Pro Max model. So with bigger chassis and bigger displays, we can expect bigger batteries. And we also have the numbers for that. According to Mac Rumors, the iPhone 16 Pro is going to get a new stacked battery technology for increased energy density and prolonged lifespan. So we are getting a jump for about 5% of the battery size. On the Pro Max model, the 15 Pro Max, we have 4,422 milliamperes of battery. On the 16 Pro Max, we are getting 4,676 milliamperes of battery. We still don't know, the displays could consume more, the chip could consume more, but I do believe we are getting better battery life, and leaks, they agree with me. There's also going to be a big improvement on the charging speeds of MagSafe technology. It's going to jump from 15 watts to 20 watts. This is a big one because it's going to be about an improvement of 30%. Insane. Like, your phone will be able to charge faster, almost as fast as wired. Wired, the iPhone can currently charge for about 35 watts of power. 20 watts for wireless charging with magnets on the MagSafe is really good. Let's see if you need to buy new cables or the old ones will be supported. As you know, every year Apple upgrades their chip on the phones. The iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max, they do have the A17 Pro chip, while the iPhone 15, they have the A16. But according to rumors, we are getting the A18 chip on the iPhone 16 and 16 Plus and the A18 Pro on the iPhone 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max. So no more distinction between generations. The iPhone 15 and 15 Pro Max, they did have the A16, but now the iPhone 16 and 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max, they will have about the same chip. The only difference is going to be the non-Pro variation and the Pro variation. So I kind of guessed this last year when Apple released the A17 Pro with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I was thinking like, I think at Apple next year is going to put the A18 on the normal iPhone 16s and the A18 Pro on the normal Pro iPhones. So makes sense that they were calling at that time the A17 Pro, preparing the lineup for a better adjustment. I don't think it was a very good market move to call the older generation chips for the normal generation iPhones. So use the A16 for the iPhone 15s, while the iPhone 15 Pro did have the A17. People associate the number of the chip for the raw performance, and they think that, well, if the iPhone 15 has the A16, it must be much, much worse than the A17 Pro, right? Kinda true. It was worse, but not that worse. And I understand why Apple wants to call the chip on the iPhone 16s the A18. So it's a very good chip. It's better than last year's chip. It's just not the Pro version, because the Pro is for the Pro iPhones. Do you know what I mean? Last year, the A17 Pro found on the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max was the first 3nm chip to be released in the wild. And the A18 Pro and 18 Pro Max won't be that different, because they are going to feature the 3nm new generation of chips. They are going to be more efficient and more powerful. Every single year now is just iterations. They get a bit more powerful, a bit more efficient, and they can improve battery life. Makes sense? The A18 Pro might be about 10% faster, 15% faster than the A17 Pro found here. This has, for the first time, the ray tracing chip here. It's amazing. The graphics are incredible. It enables Apple to record log footage on the iPhone, enables you to actually play AAA games, although 4 months later, we only got Resident Evil and not that much more. But I want to see the future of this. I want to see more performance and more raw GPU performance on these chips, and the A18 Pro might be a great step towards it. One big hardware change we should expect on the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max is the capture button. And now, more than ever, it makes so much sense. Because with Apple Vision Pro now being unveiled and used by several people in the wild, we understand now that there's a need for the iPhone to become more of a camera and less of a smartphone. Because I do believe the basic smartphone needs will be met by the Apple Vision Pro. The amazing display, social media, streaming videos, all of these will be met on the Apple Vision Pro with productivity apps, note-taking, everything will be done on this spatial computer. And the iPhone, more and more over the years, will become a camera. Especially the Pro iPhones will become the Pro camera from Apple, and closer to a DSLR and mirrorless cameras than a smartphone these days. So I understand that this capture button will be the beginning of the new era for the iPhone. It will be one of the biggest changes to the iPhone that will mark the transition between smartphone to Pro level camera. So the capture button is rumored to be a shutter button for the iPhone. Makes so much sense. If you think about it, a mirrorless camera has a shutter button that actually gives you several things to use. For example, if you press it very hard, it takes a photo or it starts a video, depending what you are doing, what you are selecting. But if you just slightly press it, it's like a trigger. If you just press it very, very slowly or very gently, then it will show you where it's focusing. So it has different functionality than the normal shutter button on your screen, which is pretty cool. And Apple can give it even more things to do. This capture button is going to be a haptic button, not just a physical button. This will be amazing, but it will only be present on the Pro models. So it actually shows you the way that Apple is evolving the iPhone with the new Apple Vision Pro era beginning now. If I do agree with this or not, that's a different story, and that's for a different video. But I do believe that is going to happen. And the capture button is just the beginning. Apple is going to force you to use the iPhone more and more on the landscape position, not on the portrait position. Because, again, the objective for Apple is for you to create content for the landscape position optimized for Vision Pro. And putting a capture button, like right here, putting the capture button right here, where you can simply click it and use it as a shutter button, will encourage you to use the iPhone on this landscape position, record all of your videos and spatial videos on the landscape position, getting you used for this new format, and again, changing history ever again, just like Apple likes to do it, and forcing people over to get used to the Apple Vision Pro. Spatial computers are going to be the future, just like Apple Vision Pro. I have no doubts about it. It's an insane new product category from Apple, and Apple will completely dominate that era. I just can see now, 10 years into the future, everyone using spatial computers, and these devices right here, they will be our cameras. And now I understand and can see what is the future of the iPhone. This is going to be a camera and a camera first. So putting a capture button just makes so much sense. Talking about cameras, There are rumors now that the iPhone 16 Pro Max is going to feature a bigger sensor, a 12% bigger sensor than the iPhone 15 Pro Max. This is going to enable better natural bokeh for videos and photography, and it's going to let in more light, which in turn will make better photography, better videos, better nighttime photography, less noise, and better cameras in general. The iPhone, it's just a dream of mine to get almost mirrorless camera quality. We are getting there. We are not close still, but we are getting there. And bigger sensors is a step towards it. But again, only on the 16 Pro Max. On the 16 Pro Max, we are getting a new Sony IMX103 main camera sensor with stack design for better performance, a 14-bit analog digital converter for higher quality image data conversion, and digital gain control for better dynamic range and noise control. All of this crap to say that we are getting better cameras on the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max, but especially on the Pro Max model that we are getting a bigger sensor. Also, we are getting the telephoto Theta Prism lens on the 16 Pro and an expected bigger telephoto on the 16 Pro Max. So, I don't know what it is, but I'm excited to see it. We are also getting a new ultra-wide lens on the iPhone 16 Pro Max, a 48 megapixel ultra-wide lens. Better photos and especially better quality when compared to the main sensor. The objective is to get almost the same quality on the ultra-wide that you get on the main camera. So the difference between the ultra-wide and the main camera is almost nothing, almost like you are zooming out, moving with your feet with your main camera. That's the main objective, and putting in a 48 megapixel sensor, it's the first thing to do. So many new AI features, the translation, the note-taking summary, and even more. The phone call translation, live translation, the Google Lens technology that you can take a photo and just search it, or just make a circle on top of anything and just search it on Google. I do believe all of that is coming on iOS 18 for almost all new iPhones. The iPhone 15s, the iPhone 14s, whatever. But I do believe the iPhone 16 and 16 Pro are going to get exclusive features because of a new chip that Apple will put in on the A18 generation, and say that this chip has some type of new technology inside that enables exclusive AI features. It's just a prediction. If I know Apple, and I do know pretty well, they will do that. They will give exclusive AI features to the iPhone 16 family, but I want to see it. AI is becoming super important in our day-to-day lives, and AI on the iPhone currently is just weak compared to Android. So iOS 18, you got a lot to work on. But be calm, Mark Gurman has leaked that the iOS 18 will be one of the biggest, not the biggest update ever, because we are getting new updates to Siri, and of course, more AI features on top of that. So it's pretty much confirmed that AI is coming to the iPhone, and it's coming hard. As for the smaller and more insignificant leaks, according to Mac Rumors, we are also getting a better microphone that will be useful for those AI features and to help Apple get better and more accurate hearing and more accurate information from your voice for the AI features. And of course, it will be very important for video recording, because if you don't know, sound quality is one of the biggest factors for a high quality video. So if you have very bad sound, the video quality might be good, but bad sound throws people away. And other than that, we're also getting a new version for the storage of the iPhone. According to Mac Rumors, the 16 Pro and Pro Max might be getting a 2 terabyte option for the storage. This is insane. If you do record ProRes video and log footage on the iPhone, makes a lot of sense. 2 terabytes is enough for those that look for a very high storage iPhone to store all of those incredible spatial videos, incredible 4K ProRes log spatial video that Apple will enable in 2025, 2026. This might be an important feature for those, but for most people it's completely ridiculous. Again, more excuses for Apple to raise the prices of the iPhone. But that's a very hot topic. I don't think that Apple is going to raise the price of the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max, to say the least. If they do, they will eliminate the version of the 128 gigabytes of storage and launch the iPhone 16 Pro at $256, starting at $1,100, and the Pro Max will start at the same $1,200 that it starts today, with 256 gigabytes of storage. The only price increase that we might get on the 16 Pro and Pro Max model is going to be on the Pro model on the base storage. Apple will remove the base 128 and keep the base 256. That's a prediction. No leaks has indicated that, but they did it last year with the iPhone 15s. They might do it again this year with the iPhone 16 Pro. So let me know in the comments down below, which one are you more excited for? The iPhone 16 and 16 Plus, which this year are rumored to be very, very small upgrades, the camera placement, and that's it. The A18 nothing more. Or the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max that are rumored to get new cameras, a new capture button, better battery life, better performance, more AI features, so much more. And they are pushing towards the iPhone future of being a mirrorless camera. Let me know in the comments down below which device are you more excited for, or simply you don't care about the iPhone and now you just care about the Apple Vision Pro. Let me know all of that in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, bye bye.